Hello and welcome once again to Wars Going On. I'm Arcturus and we are here with a special live version of, and as you can see things are already going wrong, a special live version of Wars Going On. So at the moment it's just me. I'm hoping I'll have a couple of guests join me while we're on stream, and we can have a chat about the latest patch notes and what's coming to the game, especially these new demon soldiers, because I think they're going to be pretty game changing to how the GvG is played out. Do give me a shout if you think that the music is too loud, because I've got it on a mix and I can hear it in my ears, but I don't know how it's coming through to you guys. So first up, as ever, do remember to give the stream a like and share with people. It will help grow and get more interaction and hopefully draw more people to the channel. So patch notes. So a couple of things that was added. So last week we brought up the Talin being recognized as a platform unit even when she's in berserker stance, which reads to me as the devs don't know how to fix the bug. I'm sorry, it's really obvious that there's clearly something not working properly with Talin, especially when she's placed on the ground, that she's being recognized for damage is a platform unit. Sebastian has mentioned that this also occurs in the Abyss, and he'd been warning me off trying to use her in Abyss, like next to another tank unit maybe, to try and share some damage stroke do some healing, especially when those meteors are coming in. And yeah, this is the same real bug here that we've got with the berserker stance, getting the focus as if she's a platform unit. As it stands now, she's a really good anti-gladiator gauntlet, anti Garnet Guard units. So units will come around the map and they'll see her and they'll attack. So yeah, it's a bit of a cop-out from the devs that they've not actually gone to the effort of trying to solve the problem. They've just come up with this little workaround to try and deal with the fact that they don't know exactly what's going on. So next up is a big rework on Aracha. So this has led to a big thing. So now that her promotion, her talent, so it says promotion grade 5, but yeah, her talent is changed from plus 20% damage to plus 10 crit rate when attacking unblocked targets, to now plus 30 damage, no increase in crit rate, to unblocked targets. So that's just a big damage increase for her. I know she was pretty lackluster at times in her damage output, but also most of the time she is going to be attacking unblocked targets, because aerial units don't get blocked, so they'll fly over. So that's instant plus 30 on top of the fact that she's fighting light armor, so she's going to be getting bonus damage on top of that. So yeah, it's really nice overall output, increasing her damage output from there. The spider stance, which is her ultimate, has changed from attacking an extra target to basic attack becomes 2 consecutive strikes, prioritizing different targets. That's going to help her control abilities within if you're using her in something like anti-air arena, or if you're using her in gear raid 3, because now she's going to be able to lock down 2 targets for you. So that's going to improve the survivability of everyone, and maybe it'll give you the chance to get a bit more control and do a bit more damage. Or it's just a case of spreading out those poison stacks so that she can start doing more damage overall. Talking about poison, her poison's taken a lot more of a rework. The blast damage of the marks on her spider toxin has gone from between 30 and 40% to 100 and 150% if an enemy with spider toxin dies. So really big explosion now, so a lot more reason to get her out in the field. She's going to be killing units, because then she's going to be doing big hits to people as they die. So I mentioned the control effects. So this now means that she's going to be able to do. It was between 1 and 2 seconds, and 2 and 4 seconds if they're airborne. To between 1.5 and 2.5 seconds, to 3 to 5 seconds. So 5 seconds of lockdown, especially when she's hitting off 2 targets at a time, gives her a lot of opportunity for control, and especially in something like anti-air arena where units are bunched up, they're going to be locked down, they're killed. She's going to be in spider stance hitting 2 targets, so probably lock down another couple. And yeah, it's a really nice way of adding some control to her, some more control to her kit, and giving her a lot more interaction and much more viability. Now, Awaken 3. This is going to be one that you're going to be wanting to make use of if you've got your Numeras, if you've got your Vaughns, because now she is going to be what I thought she was always going to be, which is like the Lord of the Poison meta in the Star Piercers, because now it's gone from extending the duration of the spider bite and poison effects to inflicting poison. It also inflicts acute poisoning, and that increases the poison effects of all poison and toxic surge damage by 40%. So toxic surge being linked solely to an assault. But this kind of is going to build on Vaughn, who's able to get 2 stacks of poison. If you've got Numera, who's able to inflict her levels of damage out on people. So you're getting the stacks out there so people can get the big explosions and take people out. And at A5, when a target with Spider Bite dies, deals 110 damage once to nearby poisoned enemies, and that's going to change to plus 25% damage against any poisoned enemy target. So that's building on top of the acute poisoning, so plus 25 damage on top of an additional 40% damage to poison effect of the poison. And when the target with Spider Bite dies, deals 110 damage AoE to once to nearby enemy units. I need to look at that actually on the unit, because as that reads, that's weaker than the exploded spider bite we've got anyway. So spider bite dies, they will explode, dealing 150% damage, AoE damage. Okay. So, and A5 is enemy with spider bite dies, did 110% AoE damage to nearby them. Am I reading this right, chat? Have I missed something obvious here? Because to me, that looks like they've... oh, it's 1 extra time. So it does an extra 110% damage. Okay, so you can get up to 150% damage when one of these guys dies, and then you can do an extra 110% damage if you reach wave 5. Okay, so, I mean, that's reasonable. I think the big thing that's going to make the difference is this ability to attack 2 targets now, because that's going to be where her utility comes from. So overpowered in that cutscene. But yeah, and getting her to A3, that's going to be the really nice effect there. So, and yeah, that, I think... Yeah, she's going to have a nice extra bit of utility. I was trying to use her in Semra runs today just to add a little bit more of CC effect on the boss to try and control him during he's doing his chainsaw surge. And she was doing okay, but I mean, she wasn't really shining. I mean, I was still relying on Rygar and Helga to really sort of lock the control, get the stuns out on that to really hold down the damage. So yeah, it's something, but I mean, that's just one stage and it's not really where she's going to excel anyway. So that's her. So the next person who got a big buff was Rygar. Now Rygar, we'll jump back over to the thing, but basically they've looked at his kit and they've tried to make him a bit more useful, and they've tried to increase his damage overall, and tried to make him so he's a definite viable alternative for boss content, where you're not necessarily needing a defender, but you are looking for that extra damage to and survivability that you get when he activates his ultimate. Obviously, you're still getting the speed boost from him, so it's all a case of making sure that people can survive when all of the damage is flying around. So here we go. Rygar. So when the Lord skill is activated, they've buffed his Lord skill. So instead of it being a 25% increase in damage, it's now to a 30% increase in damage. So everyone's going to be putting out more damage when he's doing his ultimate. At the same time, the rage regen, which people were getting, which was 3%, is increased to 6%. So again, improving the survivability of those units. Load them up with a bit of with a bit of rage regen, or you drop him next to a lust, and you'll be cycling that rage really nice and quickly, which means that the survivability of your team then becomes much stronger, which is really important on Nightmare teams because they don't really have any dedicated healers. I mean, they've got Volker, who sort of adds some passive healing effects, and but most of the big DPS units have got some overall have got their own self-healing mechanics. So obviously Arrogance has got his who else has got a healing mechanic? No, I'm imagining it. So yeah, Volker is kind of like really required to really get people going and try and keep the people alive. Now, if you're activating his ultimate, then you're getting that 6% healing for every basic attack. So people can like really bring their HP back up and survive that a little bit longer until he's onto his next cycle. So they've buffed Warlord's Might. That's his skill passive, which we'll dive back to. That can now add a bleed effect lasting for 5 seconds. 5-second bleed is pretty standard for these things, so be prepared. So that is what it is. Earth Shatterer. So this is the name of his ultimate. Added a new effect during his ultimates. His max HP increases by 30%. So again, more survivability, more height, and also when you're doing healing, if you're doing the higher your HP pool, the bigger the healing effect you get, which is the reason that Salazar's HP increases with his bond skill, so that when he does his healing from his blood bond, that he heals more, and that's exactly the same idea here. You increase the max HP, therefore the healing effect has more effect overall, and you do more healing. And so brute strength, which is one of his passives, Warlord's Might defense penetration has increased by 5% overall, so it goes from 15 to 20% to 20 to 30%. So that's actually a really good increase. 30% defense penetration is really, really nice, and really helps you get out that damage. Calloused Hands. When the ultimate is cast, Calloused Hands cooldown is reset immediately. Calloused Hands is the passive that allows you to mitigate the damage for one time. So you can actually use that to your advantage, because that's like that's normally done on a timer. So you could take one hit, immediately trigger the ultimate, which would allow you to then reset that counter, so you could then survive another big hit, and you've also then got additional 30% HP, which increases your survivability. So you could probably take a third big hit without dying. So that's going to help overall with the survivability of Rygar in most circumstances. Okay, it looks like the first person is going to try and join us as a guest. So just 1 second while I get them. So get them in. Okay, so here we go. First person trying to come in. Hello, hello.
So you are tempting fate today by going on live. So is this a test run for next week?
Yeah, it is a bit of a test run for next week. So Sebastian is literally phoning in while he's traveling home from his 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, pretty much, folks. So I don't know where you are on the patch notes. I'm trying to see if I can get the stream pulled up without disconnecting the call. But have you covered the Talin thing yet?
I did mention Talin. If you want to scroll back and have your moan about Talin, I mean, I did say that it was the laziest fix that the developers could come up with. And it just says that they don't really know what the cause is.
I guess that's the nice way of putting it. I mean, it's been perplexing to me that they decided to introduce this type of unit. I don't know if it was supposed to be a practice run on the tacticians, but it is surprising to me that the way that they coded Talin and having the availability to make her a ground unit, that they did not think about how the mechanics of her mechanics would then work in PvE, or in this case, PvP, which is, one form, at least in GvG, that some people do enjoy. But to just wash their hands and say, we're just going to code her as a platform unit when she's in her Earth sign or Berserker mode, however you want to define it. Like you said, it's lazy, it's cheap, it allows for you to get around the mechanics of how a particular demon soldier works. And it just, I know the piercers are not the best. She does do well in some watcher comps, but it's just puzzling as to how overall the whole coding of this thing was not in their mind, or they did not test it before they released this unit. And she's still bugged in Abyss 1 too. If you use her as a platform unit, every time the boss does her that shake that affects all the ground units, she gets damaged. So if you're wondering why is she dying, that's the reason. And that's why you don't see her in top of the leaderboards. So, yeah. I don't know. To be nice about it, yeah, I already sent my feedback on that. There was a little bit more, I guess, feedback on that. That it was just lazy way out. This is not the way that you're going to be coding things. What does this say about the tactical units that are coming in, especially when it comes to the coding and stuff? And at least from the couple hours that I got a chance to test this heroes in a GvG map, they won't displace themselves because you actually do need manual intervention. So we probably don't have to worry about that stuff. But if a particular unit is coded as a ground unit, and then you can then put it as a platform, and then the demon soldier's behavior changes, you not only have to account for a bug, because it is still a bug, on the mechanic of the battle, but you also have to then, on top of that, counter whatever the defense is. It just bugs me. It's perplexing.
Yeah, no, and especially with these new demon soldiers coming in, who we will get to later, and I've got some great footage to share with everyone of one of these guys just causing havoc with teams that would probably be quite difficult otherwise. So
yes.
And that's just one unit, and there are about 6 of these guys to play with, and that's before we even get into the lords. So yeah, it is a really cheap way of dealing with the problem, and it doesn't really address the issue at all. And I completely agree that it's cheap coding and it's a cheap way of dealing with the problem, but it doesn't solve anything.
So the rest of the patch notes were Aracha, Rygar getting a buff, and they're decent, right? They're not going to be game breaking. I think that they're trying to make it more competent in boss battle, or like guild boss and stuff like that. Possibly.
I said that. I mean, I tried both of them in my Samurai 1 run today, and I didn't find that the stuns were significantly great. They weren't great coming out of her. I mean, I'm running her with her exclusive. I'm running her with her exclusive artifact, and I had a decent build on her. It should still be on her, actually. Let me just pull it up on screen for those of you who are watching, so you don't just have to stare at the boring patch notes. And basically, there it is. So here it is. So she had about 32k, just under 40k HP, just about 19k attack, crit capped, pretty fast at 400, all in 455. So an attack interval about 1.4, and probably a bit low on the crit damage, but that was just the gear I had, and a little bit of rage regen. So I mean, overall, a sort of a decent build. Not the greatest build, but it was a decent build. And I just didn't really see the stuns coming from her, but the chainsaw mode was probably the one that I was defeating the fastest, so I didn't really notice the effect of the upgrades on her skills. I was saying that with her splits, focus with her ultimate now, she might have more use in anti-air arena, because she can now easily lock down 2 targets. And because it's a longer pause, then you've got the opportunity for them to be wiped out, and she's then knocking down the next 2 and the next 2 and the next 2, whilst the targets that are being held are being killed off quickly.
So when I first read it, it to me is just that maybe they're trying to make her a little bit more playable in arena too. We'll see how this all pans out. I have to physically read the notes again to really. But I think that one of her awakenings was buffed, right? So I think it was A3. Of course, A3. A3. Everything is at A3.
It's generally, it seems to be range extend at A1 and then transformation at A3. It seems to be the way they go with things, and then they get to A5 and it's like, oh yeah, it does a little thing, but I mean, with the exception of Setram, who actually has a really good A5 awakening, and Arrogance again is another one with a good A5 awakening. But there's a lot of A5 awakenings which are kind of a bit meh. But no, the A3 with the acute poisoning is pretty much makes her the leader of the poison star piercers, and you're going to be wanting to get Vaughn going and Numera, so you can build up those stacks really nicely and then make them go pop.
What's up, party people? I'm here
Destined?
now.
Oh, Destined as well. Okay, let's see.
I'm finally here. Time zones are weird, and I am bad at them.
I don't know what's the Canadian excuse on this one. At least I had a 4th of July kind of mini vacation to let's say, Arcturus, sorry I can't join you. But what's your excuse?
I haven't seen my mom in a while, so she wanted to see me. So I went out for a bit.
Yep, you gotta go say hi to mom. Yep.
Yeah, it's been like multiple weeks, so.
So, Destin, before we move on with whatever's next here on Arcturus' agenda, did you hear about the Talin fix?
I heard that it wasn't good, but I haven't really learned much about it.
Catch him up, Arcturus. Catch him up, because I already kind of griped on this.
So the Talin fix is a case of, we don't know how to fix the bug, so we've just written that her skill now says that when she's in Berserker mode, she's coded as a platform unit.
That's weird. I mean, I will say, in their defense, I think it's better that way for GvG, because there's more variation you can do. But it's very funny that they were like, we don't know what the heck to do, so enjoy the way she is now.
Yeah.
This character has been bugged since she's been introduced into the game, and they just can't fix her, man. It's weird. You can't use her in Abyss. GvG, she's countering a maneuver that the Demon Shoulders were made for, and now you can completely just, it's like you see a talent difference and like, I can't use Garner Guards. That's one option. They just took one option away from me. It just, Arcturus said it was lazy. I actually used other words in the feedback that I suggested, which is probably one of the main reasons I'm never invited to this developer calls, because I'll call them out like it is. But when I read it, it's like, really, this is the solution to the problem? So what is this going to say about the tactical units that have to switch around? What kind of bugs haven't we seen yet with these tactical units? That's going to be the weird part.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see some crazy stuff. So far, I haven't seen any issues in my testing, and I've done 2 of them already. I'm gonna do the 3rd one after this stream, and so far they seem like they're working as intended. But I agree that there's a high likelihood they don't.
There's something, yeah, we're gonna see something that is not supposed to be behaving like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that is a mess. I do think it's a really lazy fix from the developers. It does show a lack of creativity to the problem. But yeah, it does basically mean that you now want to focus on getting her inside. You put her as a secondary tank, and then you know that your platform units that are the 3 tiles back are going to be safe because you can't get past her because she got so much HP. The Garnet Guards are just going to take all of that focus in. But the new Demon Soldiers are going to be cause chaos, and I'm looking forward to seeing how much chaos they can cause. And we will get onto those shortly because I know you guys love your GvG and you're going to like these guys. So I was just talking about Rygar, the Rygar changes that have just come on board. Let me get my Rygar up. Whoops, get rid of watches. So, Rygar, here we go. So what they've done is on his basic, the Warlord's Might can now inflict bleed. No real change on that. Still, you've got a 20% chance of doing a big smash, doing both hits. The Brute Strength, which means that his Warlord Might now ignores up to 30% of his target's defense, basically allowing him to do that much more damage. You want to change your builds up so he's got a bit more crit damage on him because you're not needing to get over that defense threshold as much. And when Warlord Might triggers, his attack increases, so he's going to be doing even more damage on these attacks. So again, it's all about stacking up his damage output, which wasn't amazing. It was okay, but it wasn't amazing.
That's a good change. That's a good change. I like that a lot, actually.
And Calloused Hand, which with his his damage resist, now means that it triggers when you do the ultimate. And as I was saying, just as Sebastian called, this is a possibility of you could take 1 hit, immediately trigger the ultimate, survive the next hit, and then because his HP is increasing with his ultimate, also means that you've then got 30% more HP to take a 3rd hit. So, and during that time, you're doing more healing as well. So I think it's made him a lot more survivable. He's able to put out a lot more damage, and yeah, I think it's quite a good change for him.
Do you think it'll be better than Torador definitively now, or outside of GvG? As
I said, I tried him in Semra earlier, and he was all right. He does do some big hits now, and especially with his awakenings, which have been buffed as well. So I think A1 is unchanged. It's 1 earthquake every 2 attacks, and I think they've increased the amount of damage that it does to the primary target. A2 is unchanged. A3 is unchanged. And I think A5, they've adjusted the number of stacks of Warlord's Might, Brute Strength that you can go to. So an extra 10% defense mitigation. So up to 40% defense mitigation. That's going to be huge.
Penetration.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm thinking is that they possibly reworked them a little bit for the bosses and the Halls of Illusions, especially when it comes to the 3rd level and 4th level piece, because some of these bosses gain so much damage reduction, or if there are other units around them that gain the buff, and you have to figure out a way to bring them down. And of course, defenders don't do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that they're just giving you an option here to possibly place him as a front unit and then have the backup behind him, and at the same time he is doing a little bit of damage.
Yeah, and you can stick him up the front when you've got the skip units as well, so he can do some big attacks, get those guys to 50% quickly, which means they'll skip past him, land on your back line, and he'll be able to. They'll be able to like manage them without them skipping past and hitting the cores.
He also might be a little better in Abyss. I think.
Yeah, I think
Early
so.
on,
I mean,
he was-
Go ahead, Sebastian.
Oh, I was gonna say, early on he was being used as the tank unit, right, or the one that was taking the hits, but they kind of
Yeah,
steered.
only
steered
when
away
Nella
from
was
that,
doing
right?
that. Only when
Oh,
Nella
okay.
had the gear to keep him alive. Though, if he's a little more resistant and he does more damage, he might actually have some good viability there for Nightmare teams, especially with Moriden coming out too. You could use like
Yep.
Kagiri, Wukong, Moriden, Rygar, and then you could just use like a ton of magic damage. That's
Yeah.
possible. Because Moriden hits hard at Abyss. Like, he is good.
Now, I mean, is that linked specific? I mean, it's hard for you guys to test because you can't do unbonded units. But how much of that do you think is coming from the bond skill that he's got?
Bond skill is only a small part of his damage, I think.
Okay.
Because he spawns with the stacks. The thing is, you can still... he might need to be A1, potentially. I don't think so, but you might be able to get 2 ults off at the first phase, which is going to be ultimately weaker because he doesn't have full stacks. But then every subsequent magic phase, you just move him out and you face him away from the boss, and then he charges up. So then it really only affects the first phase. Like, it's a little bit of damage loss, but not that much. And his shield damage will remain the same no matter if he's bonded or not, basically.
Okay, so that's Rygar. I mean, I haven't watched all of your videos. I saw you put out 2 on Moriden this morning, and I know that Valara's there as well. So yeah, I need to catch up on those.
Yeah, Moriden's a lot of fun. These units, I have to give credit where credit is due. They are the most fun units I have ever used. Like, whether they might potentially have bugs when they come out, or maybe they're not the strongest units in the game, they are undeniably the most fun I've ever had playing around. Especially Valera. Oh my goodness. She's like my favorite hero in the game now. It's so fun to use. You can move her to platform and ground, and she chains past her range. Oh my goodness, she's amazing. I love her. These units are such a blast, and they really, really fit for the anniversary. I love them so much.
Great. Okay, so
I just had 2 hours to play around with Valara, and then I was told that it was time to go. But Destin, I agree. I even put it on my Discord. This is a fun unit. Everybody's gonna want to get her. I mean, just being able to swap her in and out, and then when I was testing her in the GvG map, looking as to what she was doing to Necros and what she was doing to the Pharaohs, it was just intriguing to see her in action. And it's going to be one of these that people, I'm going to tell you this right now. This whole thing about ancient heroes that are non-lords having a pity, this unit will bring out those cries a lot more than we have heard before, because she is that good.
Yep. Like, undeniably a top, like, 5 non Lord Ancient exclusive or something. It's like Ardea, Carnelian, and then like Sargak, and then Valera. Like, she's up there for sure.
This will be one unit that people are going to be either going to have extreme RNG luck to get the 1 copy, and I think that when it comes to those people that like to do the unpolished soulstones tier list, he is going to jump up immediately, especially when it comes to the first 3 awakenings.
Yeah,
I didn't even cover the awakenings, and she was still... The thing is, she does a Lore's roll. She doesn't do it for 24 very easily, but for 23 and 22, she does it. She also is a Magda level damage dealer. She can also go on platforms. she's always invisible, and she
Yeah.
chains past her range, and she hits a ton of enemies all the time, and her knockback is insane. Like, people tried telling me that she didn't look that good, and I was like, "Are you crazy?" She looks so.
He is a Magda
powerful.
Vierna who stuns in that cultist faction. She's like a Magda Vierna type, like hybrid that they just
Yeah.
put her all together. You can do platform or ground. Pick your choice. You know,
And-
so it's
and-
really
No matter what you pick, you can still change your mind during
yeah,
the stage.
exactly.
With no
Her
penalty.
ult is
No.
really quick. Yep,
Yep.
her ult is really
And-
quick.
And isn't she esotericist, so she can ult like so much more often? Like, it's great.
Arbor
It's great.
Esoteria. Yeah, that's right. Because the
Yep.
Moriden is Nightmare Northern, right?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
esotericist.
So yeah.
He's Nightmare esotericist. Astrael
Oh,
is
he's
the
Nightmare
Northerner Nightmare. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, no one has touched Astrael yet. I will do it later today. I don't know what to expect. He's either going to be groundbreaking combo with like Falsha, or he's going to be okay. I don't know what to think.
That really good noise for the tactical heroes. But let's just finish up the patch notes and let's get on to the fun stuff. So a few minor tweaks to Kai. They've changed the logic of the spawns for his snares to try and make them a bit more useful. Great, good, wonderful. Let's see it in action. Valderon, they fixed an issue where you couldn't get buffs immediately on deployments, so they've now fixed that. So, yay, Valderon's getting even more powerful. I mean, fair enough, it was a bug, they should have fixed it, but yay.
I mean, he's only good in single target, so it's fine.
I see a surprising number of people using him in AoE arena, and I'm not quite sure how it works, but there you go.
Yeah, but that's less Valderon being good and more Lubu being overpowered for that.
Yeah. That Rourke rework is going to have to make Lubu look weak. Right. Rourke, so the epic Northerner who was fusion, they fixed an issue when his shield stacks wouldn't get big enough, and for whatever reason, so there was a bug there, they fixed it. And talking of frozen units, yes, she is now joining the Northerners as well. So she's not really going to get any synergy from the shields, but it's going to give her a bit more survivability. And overall, it just means that she's thematically in the right place at long last.
Yep. Now,
Yeah,
when
it only
is
took him
Boreas
2.5
becoming a
years.
Northerner?
Yeah.
When's Boreas becoming a Northerner? That would really help
kidding.
Northerners become not garbage.
It would.
Yeah.
Also something with that is Northerner faction trials. New epic mage makes it easier.
Which new epic mage?
I is becoming Northerner, which means
yeah.
that's another
Yeah.
that's another acceptable
Epic
accessible
mage. Yes.
Yep, mage. So now there's 2 epic
Oh.
mages, I think, in Northerner. That's pretty big
So
for
you
people
know,
who haven't
13, 14, and
completed it.
15 gonna have some type of mechanic that you need to slow things down or freeze things. Okay, we'll see. I think they're getting ready for Northern 13, 14, 15.
Yep.
It's
So
fine.
for the
you just
people who
need-
are still stuck on 12 and 11, it's one of the requirements to have mages. So that's pretty big.
Yeah, that helps too. Yeah, you're right. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, because we've been done with that for a year.
We've been done for yeah.
But not everyone has, so that's a good change.
700 speed Shamir with his artifact is perfect control for that. He can kick out quite a lot of damage. There's 2 ways of dealing damage in this game. One is a single big hit, the other is lots of small fast hits. And people forget the small fast hits. Right, so damage gear farming. So now you can do bulk gear enhancement. So basically, if I just get some gear dungeons running in the background, we will go off and do some other stuff, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So let me just dive over, get the gear raids running. You know, if I was like properly organized, I would have had all this done in advance, but you know, life.
Yep. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Right. So, where was I? So, gear raids, bulk enhancement. That's going in the background. I'll show you that off in a second. Yeah, you can choose how to do it, and they've optimized artifact storage so you can sort by rarity and enhancement level. So when you're doing your filtering, you can choose to filter on rarity or the enhancement level. So that's, again, nice quality of life features. It means that you're not having to worry about accidentally getting rid of something which you want to save or something you've already enhanced. And yeah, just quality of life features for management of equipment. Really good feature. So, new Demon Soldiers, new Demon Soldier interfaces. Bit of a shame off they introduced a new Demon Soldier interface and then they completely binned it and decided to do it again. So anyway, Demon Soldier interface, and here we go. So now they have added two new. You see now we have a faction tab within the, and we have two factions. We have the Frostbourne with the Frost faction. With the Mark of the Frost, and within that we have a new Lord. It's going to be Glacius, and he is going to have a pretty big area. It's pretty much the same as a Lightning Guard, and he basically has this big attack, and he periodically attacks Winter's Bite on enemy heroes within 2 tiles. Whenever he inflicts Winter's Bite, he periodically heals. He's going to be a healer to your demons. So you're going to have, this is a legendary healer who's actually healing. So that's going to be one to look out for. And given some of his allies, you're going to want him because they're big, they freeze up everyone else, and you want to keep them as alive as long as possible because the more times they're getting hit, the more time they're doing stuff.
Yeah, Winter's Bite is ridiculous on Demon Soldiers too.
Oh, yeah, it is absolutely brilliant. Basic attack is enhanced to deal AoE damage. Every 3 attacks, the third one afflicts 1 stack of Winter's Bite. That's not really very quick. I mean, because the attack speed of Demon Soldiers is pretty slow. You probably can't see this because it's behind my head, but it says, a controller support Demon-type soldier that consistently inflict Winter's Bite on enemy heroes while enhancing the survivability of Demon Soldiers with the Mark of Frostbourne skill. And the third is Mark of Frostbourne. So 3 is obviously increase Def and MRes at level 3. Is this going to let me scroll? No, it's not going to let me scroll. Immune to all CC effects at level 5, and it's going to be more resistances at level 7, but it's not letting me scroll because emulators. Here's a quick video. You can see him coming down here. It's really badly loading. But there he's coming in.
Blurry.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, so
I just wanted to say, on the lazy team of today's episode, it's nice of them that they changed the skin.
Yeah, they gave him some shoulder pads. That's about it. I mean, he's got some armor.
He's bigger.
He's bigger. Yeah. So at least from the introductory video that I did is this Frostbourne units are going to essentially be CC protector type units. They're not meant for damage, but it was crazy what I was seeing some of these guys do.
Yeah. They're great fun, and they're just going to be an absolute menace, especially if you get the captain. One thing to note is that the BP calculation has been they've taken a real heavy axe to it. So you're used to going in with a 800 plus, 900 BP plus team of demons. They've dropped a heavy axe on it. So my Moor is affiliated to an A3 Ingrid. It's not got the best gear. She's about 107k, and she's my best lord. And that gets me to a 159k Moor at the end of it. Previously, it was a 258k Moor. So they've taken about 100k out of it. The stats are the same. The BP is different. Okay, everything else is the same.
which is good because you shouldn't be going in with 1,000,000 power demon soldiers because that doesn't make sense. There's no correlation there to the defenses.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good change.
Oh, there we go. It's finally let me scroll. There we go. So yeah, as I said, level 7s, more damage reductions.
Yep.
Frostbourne
Yeah, so
Faction.
I was trying to do my attacks last night on my phone, and I hate to do it on my phone, but when I was affiliating my heroes, especially when I was trying to match like a 550 or 502 KBP, my affiliation on the Demon Soldiers, which I knew could match it, was only getting to like 440, and I was like, I'm gonna lose this thing, and it did not feel like my Demon Soldiers behave any different. It's just, I think that they just wanted to make sure that the BP didn't look absurd.
Yeah.
When it came to the battle, they're trying to, assess as to how much BP required for you to be taken down. I don't think they nerf the power level of the Demon Soldiers. It was just a calculation.
I've done a side-by-side comparison with some. So the Abyssal First Orders with an unequipped Idril versus a global versus Forerunner, and the stats are identical. The attack stats are identical with an unequipped unit, so there is no reason to believe it would be any different. But the thing to note, we now have Demon Lord skills. There are two Lords currently in game. There is a third one that is mentioned on, but we do not have a Lord skill for it yet. So I will come to that in a second. But first of all, this is worth picking out that when an enemy hero is getting freeze, its effect duration is increased by 50%. Yeah, Slaps just joined in saying it's no nerf, it's just a visual BP numbers.
It's just a visual,
down. Yeah.
Good change overall, in my opinion.
So freeze is going to last longer. So if you have Glacius on the pitch and you're freezing the enemies, that's going to be absolutely devastating, especially when we get to some of these other units.
Mm-hmm.
So Ingrid can come back, but she'll be frozen most of the time. There you go, people. You're going to get to play your Ingrids.
I will show you a video in a minute, and I did try using it in a different match. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Okay, so that's Glacius. Let's go back to Freeze. Frostbourne, sorry. So in terms of legendary, we've got the Defender, and this guy is insane. So when you get him and you start taking damage, if he gets 15%, when he gets damage, there's a 15% chance of inflicting Winter's Bite on that unit. So lots of incoming damage on this guy, and he has a massive HP pool. There is going to be a chance of inflicting Winter's Bite, which means the defense then becomes irrelevant because they can't actually do any damage on you. And that leaves you really susceptible to swarm, to being flown over, and you end up in situations like this. So this is a video just running above my head. Hopefully Destined will be able to see it. And Sebastian, I've already sent it to you. And I just opened up with one of these guys coming in. He comes in, walks up, there's a Praetus down on the bottom line, and he's a Brockier. He starts picking up stacks of Winter's Bite, and I just send over a double drop of Marauders, and they just fly straight over because Praetus is going, this guy's obviously the bigger target, so they didn't even attack them really. And yeah, it's just brilliant. So that's just at level 3.
I mean, this is exactly what I was expecting with this set of Demon Soldiers. It's just going to be a defensive nightmare. Forget the map design. Forget how we're able to place unit. I think they're going to have to expand the maps. We cannot have these cookie cutter maps that restrict us as to where we can place units, especially with Demon Soldiers. And the chaotic ones are even more of a menace when it comes to damage because they're splash damage now too, where they extend out.
Yeah,
this is going to be if they they, at least for here in Forerunners, they've completely changed the overall mechanic of the season. It's like, here, we're going to dump this stuff on you, and now you figure it out. But it just, in terms of what you thought a defense might have been working for you, now it's just completely out the window, because now you have to compensate for all of this. And I was going to say, Arthur, I know we're going to get to it because the Void Cores are mentioned here as well.
Yeah.
But the fact that you were able to get these guys to level 3 so quickly, that's going to be even a bigger issue when it comes to leveling Demon Shoulders now, and how quickly people are going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear my hot take?
Go.
Do you guys want to hear my hot take? I think to fix it,
Go
they
ahead.
should nerf BP translating to Demon Soldier Strength. I think they should just nerf it. Just make it so that BP is less effective. I know that's crazy, but it's already bad, and with these new guys, it's going to be so much worse. So they either have to make units stronger, which with the new Maverick gems, it's honestly more skewed towards the BP than it is to defenses being better.
Yep.
I think, with all the changes, something needs to be done, and I think the easiest thing, or at least that comes to mind immediately, is to make it so that the amount of BP you have translates less to Demon Soldier Strength. I think that's what they should do.
Okay.
Destin and I, or Destin is part of this project that I have been asked to kind of spearhead in terms of making suggestions to improve the GvG. We were already having enough of a problem with this chaotic shamans, just blowing everything up, and now, you're not gonna hear me disagree with Destin because we know that this is an issue. And now, not only they're introducing a lord for that guy, but then they're introducing these units on top of it. It's, again, and I know that Pyramida hates me using the word, but this is quickly becoming GvG for dummies. Is essentially what's coming down to. They're trying to make it so easy for you to obliterate defenses, and really the only way that you're probably gonna fail against them is if you use the wrong tactic, or the BP of the defense is just too high for you. And that's essentially what's going to come down to.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, already.
These guys. So go ahead.
Already, the Chaos Shaman is too strong. At some point, I'm gonna do a video diving into it because our guild basically invented the Chaos strats. But they are so dumb, and we're getting heroes that are, first of all, pretty much equal level of strength. And we're getting a Lord hero for the Chaos Shamans to make them even stronger. What the heck? It doesn't make sense. It's already cooked.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting. The maps for next season are going to have to be something special to cope with these demons, and they're, especially with Void Cores, if you can get, which we'll get to in a moment. It is really easy to get these size up. So I don't know, probably about 700 to 1,000 runs on Gear Raid 2 yesterday, and I got enough Void Cores to get these guys to level 3 and have change from just by playing the game. And the thing about Void Cores is they're generic, so they can be used on anyone. So if you've been spending ages hunting down Void Cores for a particular demon, they're just going to transform your game. So
everyone will have level 5 flyers.
Yeah.
Everyone at high level already does, but now it'll be even easier.
I was able to remote connect to my computer at home, and I left 400 runs on GR2 or stage 22, I think it was. And when I came back 6 hours later to see what was happening, I already had 10 Captain Void Cores in my account.
Oh.
Not to mention all the epic ones. Yes, I had, out of that 400 I set up, I had 10 Captain Void Cores.
I didn't get any in my 700 runs, but so your mileage may vary on runs, but it's they're going to be.
That's gonna be cancerous. Everyone's gonna have level 5 Moz and Shadow people, and now the new guys. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then I was telling Arcturus, hey, look at this. A free-to-play account just got a level 3 Ma. It's like, it's nuts. And, but I don't know if you're going to show that chest as well.
Yeah, I've got one to show off. I've got one to open too, so people can have a look at the gambling mechanic of it as well. So
exactly, and all this stuff.
Yeah, just wait till they start selling them in the shop, mate.
Well, I had 10 captain units. I had 2 of those chests, so I had a total of 3 in my storage when after everything was said and done. And I think it was about, I want to say a healthy 40 void cords, or void cords, 40 epic void cords, to just apply to any demon shoulder. But at the time, I was thinking I can't use them on the current ones because I need to unlock the ones that are new, and we need to level those up as quickly as possible. So that's what I'm going to save them for. Yeah.
Okay. So get these guys to level 5. The retaliation effects increases 25%, so they're going to become even stronger. Level 7 adds more magic resistance. So anytime you're facing an Ingrid comp, you're just going to send these guys in, and Ingrid's going to freeze herself, and then you're going to fly over and cause chaos in the back line. They're going to be brilliant for doing that. What else? Frozen Drifters, nothing really changed with them. They're still too squishy to be really useful.
Still the worst demon soldier in the game, debatably.
Well, they're just a slightly more expensive version of the Frozen Reaper because they do about the same level of damage. Sorry, of the Reaper, but they do about the same damage. But they freeze and then they run past and then they get knocked out because they're a little squishy.
They're not a little squishy; they're super squishy. Yeah. The only ones I can think of that are worse are like the rare mages.
Spider. Yeah. To be fair, the epic mages are pretty bad.
Sorry, just a brief retort on what I'm seeing here on screen with Slap's comment about people catching up. Again, careful what you wish for. Yes, beginner or those low spend free to plays are going to be able to catch up a lot quicker, but those that farm excessively are going to have level 15 demon shoulders, level 20 demon shoulders in no time. Yep. So guess who wins?
Yeah. But I mean, that's always been the way.
Yeah, but this is just gonna separate it even more. Like, even though people who are on free-to-play stamina and they're not really spending, they're gonna be happy that they get level 5s, and then they're gonna get run over by level 13 demon soldiers by people who spend on the stamina packs whenever they show up. Which isn't even that much for this game, by the way. That's not a lot of spend compared to a lot of the top-tier whales. They're still gonna get run over by like level 12 axes by someone who just farms using like 2 stamina bundles like whenever they appear. Like, it's gonna be such a big disconnect compared to what it is right now. Like, the biggest disconnect we get right now is you can be free to play and you can have level 5 of the important demon soldiers, and then you'll generally fight someone who has level 7, maybe someone who has level 8 or 9 if you're fighting one of the top 5 guilds. It's gonna be so much worse. It's gonna get much worse.
Yeah. It totally is gonna get worse. I mean, these guys are gonna get a lot more, a lot stronger too, because they're gonna be able to put out 25% level shields because all these other Frostbourne guys are gonna be really stacked up. So they're gonna be even harder to kill, especially that defender with a 25% HP shield on him, which is gonna be an absolute menace. And then as you're getting void cores to get him up really high levels, then 25% HP on top of like 6 million health. It's just nuts.
Again, Slap, it's not about you being good anymore. It's just about you having the demon soldiers level, because really now, if you wanted to, you can only have 5-6 people in your guild be good at the attacks. They share the attack codes, and then people just copy pasted them and they can run it. And if they have the demon soldiers, they're gonna probably just be as successful at it. So like I said, everything that they've introduced into the game is now old GvG for dummies. So if you can level them up really quick, you can affiliate them. You just copy from somebody that did well, and then you're set. You're done. You don't have to think.
Yep. Now it's more about account strength than it is about being good at the game, unfortunately. That's just the way it's going towards. Like, you have a couple people who know what they're doing, and the rest can literally not have hands, and they will still win easily. Like, it's rough. It's rough. It's like GvG is supposed to be, if you're smart, you do better. Now it's not so much anymore.
So another new demon. I mean, this guy looks like a white wraith from Game of Thrones. It's really, I have to say, big props to the character models they've done for these new demon soldiers. They all look great.
Except Glacius.
Except Glacius and the frozen dogs and the frozen bombs, which are just reused character models. But I mean, the tank and this guy look great.
Yeah. And we haven't even gotten to the fire one.
We haven't got to the chaotic ones yet. So this is a Frostbourne frozen thing. So he will attack with his basic attack and he'll inflict 1 stack of Winter's Bite. If you get 3 stacks of Winter's Bite, you're frozen and they can walk straight past you. And then on his passive, he's immune to all CC effects, so you're not going to be able to slow him down. You're not going to be able to do anything to... Oh, no, he can slow him down, but yeah, you can't. He's going to be immune to CC. And he's going to get more protection as he gets stronger. Now, there is a bug here, and they've coded the wrong video. So you get the suicide bugs showing up here when it should actually be him, and vice versa. But... yeah, you've got the wrong video, so you don't really get a view of what he's like. But the idea is that he's going to just attack over a pretty decent range and inflict Winter's Bite on people from a long way off, and then your things that are up on a tank will just be able to walk straight past him and start taking out your back lines. So that's going to be problematic. You wish that they made the full campaign stages. More campaign stages for Demon Soldiers.
Yeah, remember Demonic Crusade? I think that's what.
Yeah, I know, Demonic Crusade. It's been out over a year. They should really do something with it.
Yeah, Demonic Crusade and the recent co-op mode have been some of the most fun events, and I'm worried they're not going to bring them back ever, which would be a real loss.
I did find someone who was saying that they were struggling because of the changes that have been made to some of the demon challenges. If anyone is struggling with the demon challenge, the Demonic Crusade, give me a shout and I will go in and do them, because I had great fun figuring that out. Took about 20 minutes of just experimenting with.
War Guides is a really good video as well.
Yeah, but the thing is that they've changed. They were using War Guide's video, but there've been subtle changes to the way the demons work now, because they've rebalanced them, and a lot of War Guide's videos don't work anymore. So I just went in and I just took what I knew about the demons and just pushed it a bit more, and yeah, I found a solution and I posted it. So, but if anyone's struggling, give me a shout. I'll give them a go.
Remind me, were those stages depending on the levels that we had, or was it already given to us at a particular level?
It was all level 1 demons, unaffiliated. They were just the challenge ones.
Yeah, I might revisit that as well then. Okay.
Yeah. Chilling Touch. So these are frozen dogs. So obviously they're going to be fast dogs that can freeze your tank or run up to a tank that's got 2 stacks of Winter's Bite, hit the 3rd stack, and run straight past them into your back line. So same sort of concept. More HP, more CC resistance, more magic damage reductions. These guys are going to be a pain in the neck, because as I say, they're just going to run up to a tank with a couple of stacks of Winter's Bite on and run past them. So they're kind of just about inflicting Winter's Bite on the tank, and then the idea is they'll run past. Okay, in this example, they die because you don't send these guys in first, but it's the same concept.
Do they move as fast as the rares or the epic hounds?
105. That sounds faster than the others. I think the others are about 75, but they have a speed boost on them. So let's just come out.
Level 5 epic dogs are 105.
Yeah, there you go, 105. Yeah, so they're there.
Okay. So you
And
freeze them with the captain unit and then time the release, and then they just go by.
No, you send in this. You send in the defender who takes the hits, freezes everyone who's attacking him, and then you send those guys through. But if you want to get a quick a couple of stacks of Winter's Bite on someone, you send in these guys. So these are suicide bugs, but this time they are freezing you. When they explode, they'll inflict 1 stack of Winter's Bite, obviously 3 stacks, and you're frozen, and then you just run straight past you. Same deal. Same
It
deal.
gives a whole new mini to Spider Dog.
Yeah, you're gonna have legendary spider dogs with freeze mechanics. You're gonna have great fun with that, guys.
I think this is gonna go towards even more like triple ground unit comps.
Yeah. But then you're going to be leaving yourself vulnerable to something else. So we'll see.
Oh, for sure.
We'll see. A campaign mode for just Demon Soldiers would be cool. Yeah, I think they've given us enough now that it would be interesting to do something with them. Okay, so that's the frozen ones. I think they're really interesting. I thought this. The reason I got him was there's a new achievement. If you do 1 attack in GvG, you get a choice chest. You have a choice of this guy, or you have a choice of this guy. This is a growth fighter. So the idea is he's going to be released near things which are soft and squishy. When they die, he will gain in attack and HP. And that's going to make him more of a problem for other people, the things that he's going up against. So you're going to send in something squishy like spiders. You're going to follow up with this guy. And he's going to increase his attack by 8% and his HP by 10% and size by 10%. And he can do this up to 10 times. So that's an up to 80% attack increase and up to 100% HP increase and 100% size increase. So he's going to look absolutely massive on the map. So there's a little video here of sending it in with spiders. The spiders die, he gets bigger and bigger. And yeah, then the idea is he's able to do more damage to the defender as he's going in there. So yeah, interesting idea. Chaotic unit, so you're going to be able to pair him up with the with the the Chaos Shamans for additional fun. You're going to be able to send in the high order Abyssal destroyers who are in here. These are now chaotic as well. So rather than having flame archers, you're going to be able to have flame abyssals coming at you. While they don't have range, they are going to melt anything they come at if they're on fire, because 5 flaming attacks is going to be pretty nasty to suffer.
Yep, so Ingrid go burr, everything else fails.
Yeah. Infernal Clerics, they've been in the game a while. This is the new captain. You've seen him at the end of like campaign stage, the campaign stages. He dies, he comes back, he gets a bit stronger, and he's a beast.
He's pretty cool looking too.
Yeah, again, they've done a nice job.
What I was seeing in the test server, he pulses that flame or whatever it is that he puts on the heroes every 10 seconds or 15 seconds? What was that buff that he was sending out, or debuff?
Debuff.
So he pulses something, and then you see the heroes gain that debuff.
This is his Lord skill. Every 30 seconds reduces the damage of all enemy heroes on the battlefield by 10% for 10 seconds. For each additional faction soldier on the team increases the damage reduction by 5%. So it's not that they're doing more damage, it's just that the opponent's doing less damage.
So when we see that mark, which I'm assuming is the mark of chaos, so when we see that mark that he pulses out every 30 seconds, that's the period that we have for us to send whatever other units we want to send, because the heroes are not doing as much damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, this is kind of the least developed of the factions, but we've already got two great units who are already causing chaos. The fact that they've thrown in the Abyssals, the High Order Abyssals in there as well. This new Growth Fighter, who's going to be very interesting, especially paired up with something like Spiders or Necromancers. You've got potential for a lot of chaos in there. Because you could send something into fiery death, knowing that this guy's coming up behind and he's just going to absorb all of the enemies.
Yeah, because
the buffs. And then
if he's tanky and then he revives, there is enough time to use him to like bait the ults, and then he's doing damage reduction. So right behind him, just send Chaos Shaman with whatever other unit you want to use to burn stuff down. It's just it's gonna be just too easy. I don't know, Destin. It just looks too easy on paper right now.
Well,
we'll have to see
hold
ultimately when it comes. So
it's difficult to get hold of, and as I say, I'll show you the chests in a minute, but they're difficult to get hold of, so they're not going to be transformative as they might be. Basically, at level 5, they increases the effect duration of the damage reduction on all enemies by another 5 seconds. So that's from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. And just generally more tankiness at 3 and 7. So yeah, he's going to be a real pig, the captain. And I think the growth fighter is going to be interesting to play with as well. So so this guy can deal extra damage. So the growth fighter can do extra damage 35% chance to do 2 attacks basically. So again, he's gonna be getting big. He's gonna be doing lots of damage, and if you're sending him with stuff that's going to be squishy and die, then he's going to get really big and tanky. Okay, so that's those guys. And I said that there was an extra faction that's mentioned in game, and it's these guys. These mentioned they're part of the Bloodspring faction. We don't really have any details about that yet, other than the fact that they kind of increase the amount of healing that they receive, and they restore HP every time they attack. So expect something along those lines for the other demons that are going to be coming in on this faction. And we'll have to see what more. So far, I haven't really used these guys to much effect. Had a bit of a play with them, but so far I think they need to be at least a minimum of level 3, which is easily doable, to start getting them rolling. They just need a little bit of HP to get them over that top line, that first line, and then they can start causing chaos. So on to how you get hold of these new demons. So the new demons come in these mystery demon chests. They are rare, extremely rare rewards from artifact material raid. So now your artifact material raid farming is going to give you the opportunity to get demon soldiers. That is from stage 19 onwards. You're going to have the opportunity to land one of these chests. And again, in gear raids from 19 plus, you have the opportunity to get these. These are also given out in Void Rifts, and they're given out in GvG just as battle rewards. And if you win a bout, you get one of these. And what you get is a chest, and it says you have a chance to draw one of these guys and a low chance to get a captain. And you then press use, and you get something you've already got if you're unlucky. But it's shards, and demon shards are good, and it's something you can save your awakening coins on because you're now getting them from somewhere else. But the real gem, the real gem that has been added, let's just have a look at how this bulk enhancement is going. So now if I wanted to, first of all, sell all the junk I don't want, of which there is lots. and then I can just say, oh, let's do bulk enhancement. And then you can say, I want to do that, and I'm going to do that. And go bulk enhance, and I just say what level I want to enhance it to, and it does them both. 2 gears, tells you how much money you spent, and it's done. But you can only do it from this screen. You can't do it from the gear storage. You can't do it from the sales screen. You can only do it from the gear raid itself, so where the battle stage, just to give you an idea of what's going on. And no, they didn't add Demon Soldier cores or Void cores to the gear dungeons. Still could do with a bit more love. Could do with Gear Dungeon 3, devs. You know, Gear Dungeon 3, maybe Gear Dungeon 4. Give us a bit more to play with, please, maybe. Okay, never mind.
Wait, we
the
need
extra
more?
keys have been in the
Are
game.
you nuts? Are you nuts? There's already so much stuff that people did. You know, I haven't touched the Tower of Deception since it's at least in Forerunners. I haven't touched it since the Inception. I mean, come on, man. This is already time consuming as it is.
Yeah,
Now we need more content.
Well, I keep hearing that there's no content for the end game, right?
Yeah, we need more content, Sebastian. We need more time.
You want it to be the next thingy, Raid Shadow Legends, right?
Yeah, and then we're gonna need a tool that the community makes so it runs the game for us essentially. No, I don't. No, stop it. Stop it.
You can
I only
tell
say these things to
that
wind you up.
his love for Raid Shadow Legends really shines through how he talks. I've never seen
Yeah.
anyone so in love with Raid Shadow Legends. It's great. Like, damn, Sebastian, I can get you a contract if you want.
No, stop it. No, I am not.
I know
No
you're
chance.
begging. I know you're begging for it, man. Like you could just
So-
be honest with us.
No, I'm not. No. Stop it, Destin.
Right, so community-wise...
Void course.
Void cores. So at the moment, you may be aware of a large content creator who's doing a drop rate study from Gear Raids 1, 2, and 3. I pointed out that this was a bit of a fool's errand because you're about to have more things dropping, such as these guys, more mystery chests, and you're going to be having these guys, which are epic soldier void cores, and you're going to be having legendary void cores and captain void cores. See, I've had none. I've done so many. I had 140 of these, and no captains. But I have had loads of the soldier void cores too. So yeah, these guys are going to start dropping from about stage 19 onwards, increasing in as alongside your keystones. You're going to have a chance to get these guys coming out, and yeah, it's really, really good. They drop really frequently. Slap, I know you had really good runs. You said you had like over 100 legendaries, void cores. I imagine you got some captains. You can see from me, I had none. That's not to say that. And Sebastian, you said you got 10 in 400. So yeah, they're definitely dropping. They are transformative for you if you've been chasing one type of demon core and it's just not been dropping. Then you didn't get any captains. Okay. Then there is definitely the opportunity to help you push. So, for example, my Garnet Guards, I've been chasing these guys. I had the choice of going level 5 on these guys or level 5 on the Chaos Shamans. I decided the Chaos Shamans were where it was a better investment for me. But it's that sort of thing. You have that much more flexibility in leveling up. It's not going to be the same battle of I've done 2,000 runs for one particular demon and nothing's dropped. And the whole concept of what is a bad seed is going to change, because if you're not getting the demon soldier you want, you're probably going to be picking up void cores, and that's actually still going to make it a good seed. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
One thing that I was mistaken on was that I thought that the void cores were going to replace the regular demon shoulder fragment drops, and that is not the case. So we're going to be double dipping essentially. So for example, like Destined said, if you are rushing to get Necros to level 7 and you then farm GR2 and then you get the Necros, I think it's GR2 or GR1. GR1. So you get the Necro shards, and then on top of that, you're getting the Void Core. So it just kind of speeds up the Demon Shoulder leveling that you're going to want to do. Now, unfortunately,
you have the chance to triple dip because you're going to get them from Gear Raid 1, you're going to get Void Cores along the way, and you have the chance to pick up Mystery Demon Chest in Gear Raid 1 at the same time. So, yeah, you're going to have the opportunity to accelerate these. So,
yeah, so, but essentially you're going to have to make a decision with the Void Cores because right now, as it stands, the new legendary units from the Frostbourne and the Chaos factions, the only indication right now is that you're going to get them from Void Cores or materials from these chests. You can't by just regular farming the gear rates, right? So I think that they're essentially giving us the opportunity to level some Demon Shoulders really quick, but we're going to have to make smart decisions, especially those that farm a lot, as to where you're going to apply those Void Cores eventually. It's going to influence where you're going to use it.
Yeah, and Splat Bunny makes a really good point, actually, in the comments saying that it's one of the advantages is means that you're not necessarily limited to farming Gear Raid 2 to get these shards that you want to level up your demons, your sort of your pharaohs or whatever. You can focus on farming Gear Raid 3 and use the epic Void Cores there you get to level up the demons that you would normally pull from Gear Raid 2. So it's adding more flexibility to farming. It's going to speed up your farming, and you're not going to feel quite so limited on. But I was really focusing on trying to build this demon. You're going to be able to say, oh, actually, I can just follow the oracles and put the Void Cores I get where I want them.
Yeah, I mean, Void Cores inherently are a good thing. I'm just worried about their frequent rates of acquisition.
I think that has the potential to cause problems, especially in sort of like high-end GvG on global. I think you're right there. There is potential for chaos.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that part. That's for damn sure.
Okay. Was there anything else in the patch notes? I don't think there was, but I've shown the video. I will just put it up on screen before we go, but I think that was pretty much it. There is an absolute wall of text about how it's all changed. Some of it's clear as mud. But it basically explains how you use a Void Core, which is it's a generic shard, and you can use it to upgrade things of the same level. And that's the achievement.
So you can't just use them, right? It's like you see that little red or yellow bubble show up when it tells you, oh, you have enough to upgrade this unit, right? It's not like you can go in there and say, I want to apply them now. You have to wait until you accumulate to the next level. So, for example, in one of the instances that I had with the captain unit was that I already had the Void Cores in my storage unit, but the only one that lighted up for me was the one that was ready to be leveled. So it said, okay, you have 77 shards of this unit, or something like that. Do you want to use 3 Void Cores? And they had that little yellow button on it. So
there we go.
Yes, and then he leveled it up. Yep.
So here we have, I'm not sure if you can see behind Destined. Yeah, you can. Okay, so what you have here are, I've got 40 plus of the legendary Void Cores. I can take the Uncommon Destroyers because I already have 40 shards. I can upgrade him to level 4. So the stuff is all there. It's all in game. And rather than it being obvious, I have to know that that's what I have to come in and know that that's where I'm going. It doesn't have the little green arrow on him saying he's ready to upgrade. You have to go into him. You have to go, and there it is. So it's saying you can upgrade, and this is what you'll use.
Yeah, the green arrow thing that they can probably fix. Like I said, that we're just trying things out right now so we can report these type of bugs. But yeah, essentially you're gonna have to wait, especially if you have all those void codes. You're gonna have to wait until the game allows you to use them. You just can't just nilly-willy use them.
Yeah. But I'd say for a lot of people, this guy is going to be the one to go for. I'm not saying that the growth fighter isn't amazing. I was facing a particular team in GvG, and it was like, I can make use of that guy, and I can make use of all of my legendary void cores, and I can cause some absolute chaos. And then you ended up with the ice tank doing his thing, and it was basically a 2-unit win. It was just completely destroyed their team because they couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need to see some drastic defense buffing for sure.
Yeah.
So I would say early on that right now, if this new tactical units look impressive in GvG, don't go all out and say, oh, I gotta, well, you're gonna want them free because they're new toys. But if you think that they're going to power up a defense, I would say be careful, because this new batch of demon soldiers are going to be able to counter them. It's just they're menacing as they stand right now. I just can't. I can't wait. I can't wait to see all the different strategies and the different feelings about defense building and all this stuff that is coming down the pipeline. When essentially what I said is this a good thing for guild wars? I'm gonna have to reserve judgment until we see it in action, but I am afraid that the developers have designed the system or have implemented a system where the design just makes it too easy for those that don't want to do too much investment in terms of time into this mode.
Yeah, but I will say it's very, very RNG dependent to get those captains to really exploit them, and these new guys are hard to get hold of, but once you get them, you don't have to worry about playing catch up if you've stored up your void cores, because you'll just, as I say, take them straight to level 3 like I did, or beyond, depending on what you got saved up. Cool. So thank you very much for joining in. Thank you much for joining in the chat. It does make a difference to know that you're out there and you're joining in. So next week, big thanks to Mystical for joining us. Thank you to Sebastian, wherever you are on your way home from dialing in. It's much appreciated. Next week, it'll be Sebastian with a human face that's talking as opposed to a cardboard cutout. Mystical will be joining us, and we'll have more of this as we get ready for the anniversary, which is getting ever closer. And I'm sure there will be more details coming out in the next couple of days, because we are so close now. Just over a week to go to the anniversary, and there's going to be more fun stuff. And if the video that we haven't even talked about, because originally the video was just going to be talking about the anniversary video that was coming out, but no, they've which was showing off some stages which looked like the Maurik runes, Blackrog swamp stages, but more focused around the ability of the tactical units to move around the map and do stuff. So I think that's going to be coming more down the line. Another thing to say is, if you're struggling with the Maurik Tower at the moment, the Halls of Illusion, that these are very fighter based. You may find that in the next map, which might be more platform unit based, it might be more focused around mages, and we'll see more content that's focused towards those units, and you might find you do better in those.
We are still building the library in my Discord just to facilitate people's, especially the ones that I'm more concerned about are the like mid-level players, the ones that are at least late game players, the ones that are getting their hands on level 1, level 2s, level 3s, so at least that they can optimize those. And of course, level 4s are all end game. So, there's going to be a particular set of players that can get their hands on those. But we're still building it there. If you guys want to contribute, just feel free to join the Discord. I'll have Arcturus post a link of it in the description section of the stream. And then
I definitely posted a link to your Discord in the stream description before we started, so it should already be down there.
All right,
but
perfect. Yeah, so that all, and I was gonna say maybe for next week we'll be able to talk about the event, the anniversary, because there is currently an embargo on something on the test server that they added in terms of the anniversary event. So we kind of already got a first glimpse.
We can't cover it.
Yeah, we can't cover it right now, but it's there. We already know. We kind of know what is coming, but it's an embargo right now.
I mean, I'll say this in a way that won't get me banned.
Yeah, we gotta be nice.
It's very cool. Yeah. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm more excited about this anniversary than the last anniversary, but that's mostly in part of the units. The units are very cool.
Yeah, it's all about the units, but yeah, they threw this nice little cool event. It's just we can't say anything about it except that that eventually there's something coming down that they have already previewed.
Yep. Yeah. The animations are amazing. The gameplay looks really intriguing. Yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool. It's exciting.
So yeah, I hope by next week we can talk about it, Arcturus. So it'll be a nice little tie into the whole anniversary event thing. So, all right, folks, I'll let you all go. See ya. Thank you, Destined.
And we got through without any chaos. We killed the gremlins. So yeah, ready for next week.
Yay! All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye. Catch you all next time.
Thanks for having me again. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye bye.